I'm Dave.
I'm Matthew, and today we've got this big monster of a Mercedes-Benz GLE 53 AMG.
That's right, it's the GLE, it's the big one from Mercedes, and AMG have got their hands on it, and the result is terrific. Let's take a closer look. So the Mercedes GLE, you already know in size-wise that it just comes below the GLS, but you also already know that it's quite a big vehicle in a 5 or 7 seater situation. This is obviously the 5-seater, well, you will see that in a minute, but it's also, this is what happens when AMG department get their filthy hands involved, and it's lovely. Up front, the AMG family grille with 15 vertical slats. It's really unmistakable and really sets aside every AMG from the normal, I call it normal, from a normal Mercedes. Down here, a little beveled front splitter, and also to the side, narrow headlights, and also lots of ventilation through the A-wing here, right through here. 22-inch feet, look at this, they're just almost up to my hip. They're really big, chunky, and massive. They're awesome. And also plenty of braking force behind here. You're going to need it because this is a good excess of 2 tons to stop once you really start going. Around the rest of the side, chunky big running boards and plenty of privacy glass. Look at this, it's very, very Mafia style. Around the rear, LED lighting, quad exhaust tips, which do connect to one of the sportiest exhausts on the planet actually, and also GLE 53 badge and AMG badging, both the things you really want because they are connected to what's under the bonnet. A 3-litre inline-6 engine that delivers 320 kilowatts and 520 newton meters. But wait, there's plenty more. 0 to 100 comes in at 5.3 seconds. It's got a fuel economy of 9.3 litres per 100 kilometres and also 212 grams per kilometre in efficiency. It's got this twin turbo engine that really works well, but it's also got an EQ boost generator that adds an extra 16 kilowatts and an extra 250 newton meters for a short period of time. The EQ boost generator sits between the TCT gearbox and this big engine. What it does is it eliminates any turbo lag, so it gives you that little bit of an electric boost before the big 2 turbos get involved, but it also helps with idling, so shuts off the engine to make sure that you're more efficient. So essentially it gives you efficiency gains and also extra boost. That's a plus and a plus in my book. I think I've just minimized years and years of Mercedes or AMG technological wizardry, but you know, hey, that's just us, or just me. What's also technologically advanced is the 48 volt system that's going through the whole car. The result is the amps are less, which also means that they can use less wiring or thinner wires, which basically takes some of the weight out of the vehicle. And a vehicle this size, you want to take as much weight out as you can. It's obviously got a whole heap more benefits, but you know, lighter weight is always a plus in my book again. Let's take a look on the inside and Matthew will show you around.
As Dave just showed you, there's a bit of electrical trickery going on with the exterior of the car and with the performance, and as with most new Mercedes, there's a lot of electrical trickery going on with the inside of the car as well. And one of those main features is the ambient lighting. It is the middle of the day right now, so I can't show you that, but thanks to the magic of editing, we can show you that now.
Hey Mercedes, change ambient lighting to blue.
Okay, I'm changing the color.
Change ambient lighting to green.
Okay, I'm changing the color.
To purple.
Okay, I'm changing the color.
The general interior fit and finish is excellent, frankly. Remember, you are paying quite a premium for this car and the AMG badge that's on it, so you expect to get quite a bit of kit with that. And you do. For starters, let's take a look at these seats. They're AMG spec and you get extra bolstering on them, and there's a little bit of Alcantara there mixed with the leather just to give you that extra posh, almost supercar kind of feel. Across the dashboard, it's completely covered in leather again, and nice and soft leather. And then you get a little slither of Mercedes's slightly grainy wood trim. It's not quite splintery, but it's a little bit rough to touch, but I guess that's there for the change in textures. One thing though that I am a bit disappointed in with this car is the fact that below the armrest level you get this. You hear that? That's the famous sound of scratchy plastics. But one thing that I do love about this car, in terms of materials, is if you look across the dashboard here, the air vents, the buttons, they're all finished in a very smooth feeling aluminium trim, and it just gives a really good contrast to the dark leather in this cabin, and it feels great to touch. The volume rocker, all the buttons that fiddle around with the drive modes, it just feels great to touch. And that's part of, that AMG package that you get, because AMG gives you the opportunity to fiddle with the suspension, the exhaust note, and the driving mode in general, along with the gearbox. So the two screens obviously combined feature on a lot of new Mercedes, but with this, it is actually a touchscreen, so you can control it using your fingers, or if you'd prefer not to get your fingerprints on the screen as I've done just now, you can use the touchpad down here to do the same thing basically. Or there's another method if you are not comfortable with this touchpad here. The left side of the steering wheel over here, these buttons actually control that screen, so I can flick through using the touchpad here, press the home button and return to this screen. That's what the left side is for, and your audio controls obviously, but the right side controls the screen in front of you, or the dashboard as we used to call it. So spending the extra money on the AMG pack gets you this, a little button or a little flash on the screen that says AMG. Now it's not just there to look pretty, you can actually do things with that. So once you're in the AMG screen, if you click on vehicle, it'll show you what's up with your car basically, how the braking is performing, what the suspension is looking like at the moment, or how you can configure it as well. And as you flick through the screens, you can toggle around with various settings of the car, including this, the suspension, for the times that you feel like doing a little bit of off-roading. It shows you your inclination and the ride height of the car as well. While we're talking about all the things that come with the AMG package, you obviously get this, the AMG badge there, but what's cooler is that you can adjust the general drive modes and all the various suspension and exhaust settings from the comfort of your steering wheel. So if you flick this button on the right here, that'll take you through the various drive modes. So I just put it into Sports Plus and you can instantly hear the exhaust sound a little bit louder there. If you want to individually select your modes, then you use these two buttons on the left side here. This one controls the exhaust, so I can have it in sport mode now, and I can also control the suspension. So it's in sport mode now, I can put it into Sports Plus for a bit of spirited driving. Now if I were a true mafia boss, I'd be spending quite a lot of time in the back of this car, so let's take a look at that. Once you're in the back of this car here, the first thing you'll notice is the amount of space I have here. I'd say I'm a pretty sizable human being, but when I sit here, it makes me feel small. Look at the amount of knee room I have. And I have a ton of headroom too, about 2 hands worth or more. In fact, more actually, because above me, there's a sunroof. So on a sort of sunny day like today, I can look up and look at the sky. But the amount of space in here is really made obvious by the fact that you could easily fit 3 adults across the back here and be comfortable. But if you're a mafia boss, it'll probably only be you just back here. Anyway, for times that you need to go quickly away from some dangerous scenarios, this car can really pull itself. Let's take a look at how it drives.
So the top of the line GLE, AMG, 53, all those things that end with E and happy, because that's exactly what I am. Very happy to be inside this vehicle. What about yourself?
Now, we just passed a tank for some reason, which was parked in a farm there, but that kind of makes me realize how I feel about this car, because when you sit inside it, you do feel like you're driving a tank, and you do feel like you're in something that's sort of indestructible.
It's a big girl, or she is a big girl, but then saying that, she's a ferocious girl. She's angry when she needs to be, but also gentle and loving as well. Sort of.
It's as Dave said, this is a big car, and at 2 tons it's a heavy car, but the wide tires and the way the suspension is set up, sure it's a bit hard, but it allows this car to really grip the road and to really attack those turns and make the most of that big straight 6 that's hiding under the bonnet there.
And when you unleash the power, oh, that's you know, a shade towards the treble figures there, but the exhaust opens up, the fun opens up, and wow, this car can move.
It definitely does brighten up your smile for sure, and the fact that the engine keeps popping and crackling as you go, especially when you're in the Sport Plus modes. It just sounds amazing in here.
Yeah, there's a crackle and pop, which is just what you want, and what I love about this vehicle is just how instant. There's no turbo lag. You want to go, it's going, yeah, okay, let's go. And boy, I want to go.
That of course is thanks to that 48-volt electric motor in the front there that eliminates the turbo lag, as Dave said earlier. But once that's sort of maxed out, then you get the turbos coming in, and it's just an amazing driving experience all around.
Yes, this comes with the Mercedes 4MATIC, so yeah, it's very confident all-wheel drive all the time, which is just great. But it also comes with active ride control, which gives you electromechanical roll stabilization. Easy for me to say, but really more fun to experience. Each corner you can attack with vigor, with fun, with, I don't know, just excitement. And for such a big car, it handles so nicely. It makes you want to just go that bit faster into the corners and just attack that much more. Oh yes, yes, yes.
It certainly does give you a lot of confidence with the corners, and enough confidence, frankly, to get you into a bit of trouble every now and then. But it wouldn't be an AMG if it didn't do that.
Exactly. Oh. Off the mark. Just the engine builds so nicely and then spits every time it changes gear. It's just AMG thrilling, and that's great. There are a variety of drive modes, so you can go from comfort to sport plus to individual. There's also off-road modes, which will give you the ability to go on sand and mud. The suspension will go down 15 millimeters or go up 55, so that's just a nice big broad range there. It's just an all things to everybody and that's great.
Though you can adjust the drive modes and the suspension modes and all that stuff, the suspension is generally set up to be hard. Remember that this is an AMG car, so you will find yourself bouncing around a little bit on the rougher roads, but that's not going to be a real problem when you put your foot down and hear that amazing exhaust note.
The 9-speed box just jumps up and down nice and easy with the paddles. You can just change and mess around with wherever you want. It just grabs the gear that you want or that you need, and that's tremendous. And the brakes are lovely, strong enough to just make you just pull your face forward. It's just awesome.
For the relative size of the wheels and the, I guess, slither of rubber that you get on them, this interior is actually really quiet, and when you're on rougher roads, as we were earlier, it's really surprising to hear not that much of tire noise coming through, but quite a bit of exhaust noise coming through.
So there you have it, the Mercedes-Benz or Mercedes-AMG GLE 53. Is it a sports car? Is it a performance SUV? Yes it is, ticks both of those boxes. Is it fun to drive? Yes. Is it an awesome ride? Yes.
You can see clearly that Dave is quite in love with this car, and you certainly will love it too. And if you're not that much of a driving enthusiast, it's got plenty of space and comfort in the back for those times when you want to be driven around.
Yeah, I'm not going to be driven around. Thanks for watching.
Make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon to be notified every time we make a new video.
And there will be plenty more. See you.
See ya.